Ho ho ho! It's your boy, Lieutenant Hooked on Holidays. Yeah, I thought it'd be festive today. Also, I didn't do my hair, so you're not seeing this. Um, but yeah, I decided to wear this doofy ass Santa hat that I found actually just out and about on the ground somewhere. I was like, cool, I need one. Um, but yeah, we're gonna review Kamen Geats episode 15. If you hear some background noise directly right over here is my space heater, because I live in a state called Michigan, which is known as Winter Hell. We're in a like blizzard watch essentially, and I record in my garage, so you know how cold, how warm it is in there. Anyway, um, so episode 15 overall pretty good episode. Couple of picks I had, but we'll get to those. So start off like the last few episodes with narration by Sumuri summing up what's happened, right? Talking about how Ace is out of the race, out of the competition. That's why you come to this channel. It's my fucking impeccable comedy. And yeah, so Ace is out of it, and of course now we have just Keiwa, Neon, and Michinaga in the final three that are in this final round against the boss round, the final boss. And so they have to protect the people and also defeat the final boss, make them retreat, whatever, right? And so Sumuri is still questioning the fact of why, they got rid of Geats, right? They actually still have that thing going where he's family with the DGP staff. So Jorori has to like put on a face with Ace about a face to face, oh my god. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do today? Oh, you're gonna do some photo shoots. I am the star of stars. Yeah, that's still a thing. And then he walks away, and that's when Sumuri kind of confronts him and is like, why did we do this? It feels like an underhanded thing. Like, I feel like he didn't break any rules. Why did we just, like, get him eliminated and get involved like that? This seems like that broke the rules. And Jory essentially tells her to fuck off and that he doesn't agree and that Geese has been in it for too long and winning too much and his time's done, basically. What the hell? What do we have here? It's a fuzzy? Okay. So anyway, we also get this really interesting thing because Ace wakes up and he stares at something on his wall for a minute. This poster, he focuses on it for a few minutes, for just like a beat or two, and then we go on with the day, right? So while this is happening, of course, Neon and Keiwa and Michinaga are getting ready to start the next round of the DGP. So they're getting ready to start, of course, and Keiwa and Neon are a little flustered, a little half baked, if you will. They're not quite sure. Their resolve is a little tempered down, mainly because they're really upset that Ace got eliminated the way he did, which is interesting because it is a competition. So I think that's interesting that they care that much. Like, I get it, you make friends and whatever, but like, if someone gets eliminated, he didn't like get mission failed eliminated where he died. It was just that he was retired because he lost. He didn't have the driver at the right time, right? So we also don't see Punk Jack at all because I'm pretty sure he's being still controlled by Glare somehow. But we also get a scene with Jirori talking shit to Archimetal, saying that Archimetal saying, well, you better watch out because the Jamatos are getting stronger, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, don't bet on that just yet. You should be betting on our riders. We still have Keiwa, Neon, and Michinaga, and they're quite formidable, and they are. And I think he's really not really betting on them. He's just like hoping they'll be the ones to like finish it and everything. It's again, Jirori, I'm hoping gets taken care of pretty quickly because he's starting to be a little tiresome as a villain. Because it's like, do you want to really save the world, or do you want to save your personal world? You know what I mean? Which can be questioned of anybody in the show, I suppose. But Archimetal, after the phone call, hangs up and is talking to one of his Jamato again, the new Jamato monster they're going to be fighting, or one of them anyway. Yeah, so move on with it. They start up the round. Everybody transforms, starts helping some people and things like that. And Michinaga gets zombie again, and this time gets propeller. And pretty quick into it, we cut away to Ace doing a photo shoot. In the middle of the photo shoot, gets interrupted by Jamato. He's helping push them away from the people, still helping to save people, even though he has no memories of the DGP. Keep that in mind. He ends up going to out and about into the city or whatever. Finds Michinaga. Michinaga tries to very quickly final attack the boss along because he uses fever and he gets the fever buckle and gets armed propeller. So he uses it and gets instantly one shot lasered into the ground basically. And so he's done and he's sitting there dying pretty much in Ace's arms. Ace unknowingly at that point, you don't know it, but he actually touches the ID core. We'll get to that. His memory's starting to come back. And before that, he actually said one of his lines he's always said to Michinaga which is, don't mistake recklessness for courage. Like, just because you think that there's nothing that can stop you doesn't mean you're being courageous. It could just mean you're being reckless. Like, be careful, be cautious still. And I really like that. I like that he says that, and he still is saying it even though he doesn't have his memories of the DGP technically. So Michinaga finally, goes out. He's retired now, or he's a mission failed actually. His core is destroyed. But before that, he tells him, like, make me believe in you. Like, make me, essentially, like, that my wish is to have the power to destroy all Kamen Riders. Make me believe in you as somebody that I don't have to destroy. That I can restore my faith in Kamen Riders, basically. Because even he's kind of struggling with his wish. They're like, well, why do you want to do that? Do you really want to wipe us out? He's like, well, you're just like the rest. Like, no, they're not. Those other guys were assholes. Clearly were there before the rule that you can't attack other riders, allegedly, anyway. And so, anyway, he dies, and he tells him, prove me wrong, and blah, 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 and like, come on, you've got to do this. Gives him the driver. And so he takes it along with K1 and Neon, and they go back to the, like, in-between area, the rest area place, and they confront Jory. Jory says, how are you here? And he says, well, I touched the ID core on his driver. I got my memories back. I'd like to be back in the race, back in the game. He's like, well, you can't. He's like, why? Oh, you failed last game, and I'm not just going to get you back in just to win. He's like, I don't want to win. I want to save my world. That's not what I'm in for this for. I'm not in to win. I'm in to save my world. And I really like that. I like these moments similar to Ikki with the newer, like, Reiwa riders, where we get these little moments where we get their heroicness coming through, and then, like, talking about what they really want to do to keep people safe. I really enjoy that. I think that's really cool, and a really big part of being a Kamen Rider and being a decent protagonist main rider is to, like, have moments where you're like, no, I'm not doing this for such and such personal reason. I'm doing this to keep people safe, to protect people. And I like that a lot. I like to kind of live up to those kind of lofty ideals myself in real life as much as I can. And so he keeps saying no, and Samuri comes out of nowhere and is like, well, actually, that's wrong. He is still eligible, because he tells me he's not. And he's like, what do you mean? She goes, well, his very first wish, I don't know how you didn't know this, but his first wish was to continuously basically be Geats forever until he dies. So the day he dies, he wants to participate in the DGP. Basically to give him enough time to find out what happened to his mom, right? And so she gives him the driver and the core, and he ends up before this, Jory trying to offer the boost buckle to K1 and Neon, and ends up Ace takes it, of course. But before that, we get the little revelation that he had left himself, he prepared for this, that this might happen, left himself notes in his room. That poster he was staring at had a note on it that led to a mirror that led to another picture, and a picture that led to somewhere else. When he pulled back the corner of that, gave him all the details he needed about the DGP fighting to find, the Buffalo Warrior, blah, blah, blah. And that led him to getting his memories back. So I think that's really cool how, like, 14 million steps ahead he is of everybody, and how he saw this as a possible thing that could have happened. I think that was really, really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think, like I said, Ace is slowly becoming one of my very favorite main riders, and I think it's basically boils down to how well he's written. He's very calculated, very, like, intelligent. He doesn't make mistakes, because he does. We've seen him make mistakes, but the times when he doesn't outweigh the times when he does, I think. When he's successful and he's, able to kind of be evasive and use his, like, fox-like nature to, like, do something good, I really like that. I think it's really, really cool. So we get an awesome sequence of him running through town with the boost striker, like the bike, and turns into the fox thing and fights Martha and D'Amato. He has boosts both on the top half and bottom half at one point. Well, not at the same time, but I mean, he, like, revolve on with it. He uses the zombie buckle at one point for a while, and then eventually uses jet cannon to finally destroy the monster, saying that he can destroy it from the outside, because that's what Michinaga remembers, is him saying you could destroy it from the inside. We also get some more of the Yamato riders speaking more lines of some of the fallen DGP riders, layering in more of the idea of that the ID cores are being fed to, clearly, the Yamato, and that's where these memories are coming from. So near the end of it, they actually are straight confronting Jory, because Ace ends up being victorious. He's able to destroy the final boss in a really spectacular, visually striking victory. And it's really cool. It's really, really, really cool, and I really love the effects for it. Overall, it was really awesome. But yeah, it was just a really great episode. But yeah, he gets back and confronts him about why isn't the game ending, what's going on, the world isn't coming, resetting. And, or he doesn't, the two of them do, K1 and Neon. and also about like what's going on with the riders, the Jamados, blah blah blah. Joy doesn't answer anything except saying, "Oh no, this is the Desire Deity playoffs now." It's like you're just trying to add one more extra fake thing in there so that you can have a chance of possibly, Geats losing again. It's clearly not going to happen. We also see when Geats wins in this episode, we see the one arms dealer guy that gave him the twin command buckle. We see him, excited about it, basically. Yeah, so that was really interesting to me that he was excited about it. It seems like he might be like a pseudo ally for a while. I kind of see him maybe being kind of a playing both sides thing, but definitely against Rory. So, and then we end with another end title card note saying that only the game master can decide when a DGP round ends, which is like, it's such bullshit. Like, now you're just making things up, pulling them right out of the deepest abscesses of your asshole. But overall, this is a pretty good episode. I really liked it. I love seeing how creative and like ahead of the game Ace was the entire time. Seeing him not be in it for a while would have been cool to see him in it, not in it longer, like make it a two-parter. But I do understand that like he is the main character and they're not going to keep him out for that long and blah blah blah. But it still would have been cool to see them struggle a little bit more without him. As far as them like kind of falling apart and like feeling like they can't, like not even enough to like, they couldn't even like be strong enough to like defeat one Jamato rider, I think that just owes itself to they just saw Michinaga get like literally murdered in front of them. Ace is nowhere to be found. They don't know how to bring him back, and they feel hopeless. Like, it's not that they can't defeat him. They probably could if they tried or put their mind to it, but they just don't have the heart anymore. They don't know what to do. They have so many questions, so many things pushing against them. So I think it's human. I think it's cool that they struggle and they were like not sure about it. I think that was really cool. So score-wise, I probably would give it probably a strong, somewhere around like an 8.5 out of 10, only because I wanted there to be a bit more back and forth between Ace and Michinaga and KY and Neon before he gets his memories back. And a bit more of Ace not just directly coming right back into being Geats again. But next week is a like battleship thing. And he tells them that the game is Hunt the Fox, which means they're all going to be hunting KY, or I keep saying that, Ace. Which Samuri interjects with, riders can't attack other riders. What are we doing? This is against the rules. So I'm wondering if something's going to interrupt this, and then it's just going to be K1, Neon, and Ace against Glare, Jory / Glare, fighting for the first time. But yeah, it looks really interesting. It also looks like Ace has twin command buckles, and so does KY. Like, they both have their own somehow. I don't know how that works. But overall, really great episode. Really enjoyed it. But let me know in the comments below. What did you guys think of the episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? We're in the middle. Also, coming up on the Henshins and Homies podcast as we're recording today, we're going to have the wonderful Squawk Charleston on. Our topics are going to be, first, a special presentation Christmas skit, writer-esque Christmas skit, if you will, that we're going to present. He's playing the role of a character in that. I think that was my X8 driver. I do apologize. 1 second. Let that continue for a minute. Anyway, he'll be on there. Squall will be on there playing the role of a character in that skit. So, be excited to be down for that. We run around 7:45, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be recording that live. If you want to listen to us as a podcast, we are available anywhere you can get them. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We archive the live streams there every week. You can find them there to watch back if you don't have time to watch it live. We just had a one with Keze Henshin last week, talking about fashion in Toku. Coming up on the channel for content, this review clearly, but then also Don Brothers 41, the Christmas episode, which I want to talk about in a little bit here. I'm going to record. But as always, thank you so much for watching, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all that really good stuff. I really, really appreciate it. We're right at 392 subscribers, right under 400, which is absolute insanity to me. I really appreciate you guys. I really want to be thankful around this time of year with Christmas. The greatest gift to me right now is you guys subscribing to me and giving a shit about my goofy-ass channel I run out of my garage. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity and the platform to talk to you guys about these goofy shows from Japan that are meant for an 8 to 10-year-old Japanese child audience. But anyway, I'm going to talk to you next time. You guys stay hooked on heroes and the holidays. Have a safe holiday. May it be with family, with friends, found family, whoever, whatever holiday you guys are at all celebrating. do it up. Stay safe, stay warm, be careful out there. If you're in a place where the weather is going to be bad, be very, very careful. But as always, stay hooked on them heroes. They'll keep you warm at night. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.